You good? Okay, we'll call the regular meeting of council for Monday, November 10th to order at 3 p.m. Jody?
Please note, council meetings are streamed live and recorded on YouTube. Attendees acknowledge that in accordance with Section 20 Sub 2 of the Access to Information Act and Section 4 Sub C of the Protection of Privacy Act, names, addresses, and other details provided when speaking at a council meeting will be publicly shared. Should you have any questions related to the collection or disclosure of personal information, please contact the Legislative and Advisory Services Division for the Town of High River by sending an email to atip@highriver.ca. That's ATIPP@highriver.ca.
Thanks, Jody. Adoption of today's agenda. I would like to amend it by adding one motion regarding the Legion Poppy campaign contribution. So I would like that added as item 4.2 under business. So I'll ask for a motion from Councillor Barton that council adopt the agenda for the regular council meeting November 10th as amended, adding item 4.2 being the High River Legion Branch 77 Legion Poppy campaign donation.
Yeah, my motion, Mayor.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Previous meeting minutes adoption. Ask for a motion from Councillor Jones that an omnibus motion adopts the following in accordance with Council's procedure bylaw. The October 14th regular council meeting minutes as presented and the October 27th organizational meeting minutes as presented.
I'll give you that motion, Mayor Snodgrass.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Business 4.1 Aquatics Expansion Construction Update. Kaylee?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Today's update, I'm going to go over a few more numbers than what we typically go over, just so we can get a really good capture, just because I know we have new members of council, so I want to get everyone up to date, and hopefully that will answer any questions you may have, but if not, I'm always open for questions at the end. So our project originally began construction on July 8th, 2024, and the budget total was $26.7 million and change. We had budgeted roughly around 1.3 million for all of our contracts up to the point of construction, being your project management, architecture, and geotech. Shandos Construction, the contractor, came in just over 22 million, with leaving 690,000 and change for some of our additional expenses like FF&E and any additional third-party contractors that we need to have on the project, leaving us to a project total 24 million and change. That would leave us with the contingency budget of $2.4 million. With current change orders to date, keeping in mind this is not just construction change orders, this is change orders across the board or any unforeseen contracts that have had to be brought on board for the duration of this project. We're at about 1.4 million, so we got about $1 million left, and we're into this project for November, and we're hopefully going to be done here in May. So we're more than halfway through the project. So we've got about $1 million left, and we're just getting into the demo of the project. In construction change orders alone, we've got about 1.4 million, and to date, you'll notice I have a list of change orders in the report. Now it starts off at change order 73. That means, yes, there has been 72 change orders prior to this, but I'm only listing the most recent change orders that we've had to date since our last update. You'll notice that a couple of them are credits, and we even have one change order that we managed to cancel and remove off the project. Some of these change orders you'll also notice are also safety driven and just operational driven as we've gotten into the space, and once we physically can actually walk through the space, we start to identify how can we tweak it a little bit better for operations on our end once we receive the project and start operating the space itself. Our key milestones. So our old basin, we closed on October 3rd, 2025. This was earlier than what was originally projected, but this gave us an opportunity to get into the demo a little bit sooner because we understand that we're going to probably have some key issues come forward. They're just going to need a little extra remediation time to get the project completed on time. The lobby itself received a closure a little bit later on because we wanted to ensure that we had access to the bathrooms, especially during election time. We wanted there to be a little bit more of a free flow through the lobby space, so they were able to get up a lot of their hoarding while still allowing for a lot of our elections to take place in that field house space. Our new basin is scheduled to open January 13th with a project completion at the end of April. Now, we had originally contemplated opening phase 1, which is the brand new pool, on December 10th, which you'll notice has moved out to January 14th. That is our targeted date, but keep in mind we're still negotiating some of the unforeseens that have come forward on the project, and so you may potentially see a little bit more of a delay. However, we're trying to play out what these unforeseens will have, especially with the Christmas delay, a Christmas closure in there. We are currently working on getting a council tour set up so the council can come in and see the progress. We've got some of the critical demolition completed in that main lobby space that used to be our old change rooms. And so with that done, that allows us to get council back in for a quick little view of how big and open the space actually is now that we've taken out some pretty decent walls. On the project construction activities themselves, the hydrostatic testing of the new basins is complete. The change rooms are continuing. They're still not built out because they're of course all built by masonry walls, but we're getting near the completion of building the new change rooms. Along with completing the walls on the back on the front or the southwest corner, that's where we started doing all the tiling. So you'll notice that a bunch of the tiling when you go on that tour is actually starting to get completed, and you're walking on tiled floors now. So we're starting to get into now the finishes of that new basin. The roof work continues. We've got sidewalks and curbs and asphalt out in the parking lot, so it's going to be much cleaner, which will make also getting our Zamboni into that small arena space a little nicer, a little less debris to be cleaned off to get into that arena. The phase 2 hoarding was completed, and so within phase 2, we've actually already had quite a bit of demolition done. We'll actually start bringing in new material as we rebuild up that lobby space now. Our reception has been relocated to the front entrance, so you'll notice our staff right as you come in, and we do encourage the public to come through those front doors because we like to give a little, you're in a construction zone, this is how you're getting to a lot of places. You'll notice that you're getting to the back of the building through some hallways, and it's a little bit less, it doesn't flow as nicely, but yes, you're going through the large arena to get to the back to the curling and small arena, and so it just feels a little bit cut off. But we do still have our concession open, and you still have access to those back facilities. The water slide has arrived. It is on site, and they are working on getting it delivered inside the building once we get enough of the work completed that we can start to open up between phase 1 and phase 2 so we can maneuver it through. The existing pool basin has already had its initial condition assessment, which is kind of what we were expecting along the lines for remediation and work, which is great because there wasn't any big surprises that popped up. And we've done some condition assessments from the top down where we've taken the tile off, we've taken the dry pack off, and it actually is looking pretty good. From the top down, it's actually looking pretty good. So we might not have as much as we were expecting for remediation work on that side of the pool. And the reception and viewing area have been seeing considerable demolition. Your lobby space now and your pool space are one. There's no dividing wall between the two. However, Chandos is trying to keep the dust down because as much as we're trying to seal the two spaces off from each other, it's not very easy. So in the existing pool basin, we'd be taking a lot of the tile off and getting rid of that dry pack. It's a very dusty job. And so even though the wall between the existing pool and the lobby space isn't there anymore, what they've done is they've actually put a tarp up. So it kind of still provides it with a couple environments for that dust to get through. So it's not coming right into our existing lobby space right now. And so Shandos is out there also on a regular basis with vacuums, just trying to keep that front entrance vacuumed and cleaned up as much as possible. We have had some comments about it being drier than normal in the BSRC. And that would be because we no longer have our tropical environment. We've drained that existing pool. There's not as much water in the facility, so you will find it to be a little bit drier in there. That is because we don't have that pool space in there anymore. So, and even when we put the pool space back in there, it'll be considerably controlled compared to what we've had in the past. And that is what I have for council this afternoon. Is there any questions that I may answer?
Questions from council? I am not going to hold you on any of the dates that are, it's construction.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Councillor Cooey.
Thanks, Mayor Snodgrass, and thanks, Kaylee, very much for the presentation. Just a question, just for clarification. I'm just wanting to confirm, what is this, like these two areas here? Does that say kids area?
Yes, you'll notice to the right is the kids area, and to the left are new washrooms, and those are individual bathroom rooms.
Okay, I thought it was a washroom, but I was a little bit confused with the kids area. Perfect. Thank you.
No further questions? All good? Thanks, Kaylee.
Thank you.
Looking forward to the tour. Might have to go buy some new trunks for the water slide. Item 4.2, Legion Poppy Campaign. So we received a letter from the Legion. Three items they asked about. Is the town planning to lay a wreath at this year's service? The answer is yes. And will we have a representative there? Yes, because I think there's myself for sure. I think, Vicki, you're attending?
I think there's 6 of you.
6 of us that are going on tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll definitely have somebody that can lay the wreath. They also asked that the town contribute to the Poppy campaign. They're asking for a small donation of $75 towards their Poppy campaign. So I'll make a motion that council donate $75 to the High River Legion Branch 77 2025 Poppy campaign. Funds to be received from the slush fund. Hey? Any comments? All in favor? Carried. Attached to the agenda, Shepherd Family Park meeting minutes are there. And now we can move into public comments. I know Mr. Richardson, you're here. If you'd like to come forward and take the desk, and we'll get.
I'm Malcolm Richardson. I'm a resident taxpayer here. I'm also a civil engineer with some 55 years of experience in streets, roads, subdivisions, and some paving. My comments are, I guess, should I sit down or stand up?
You can sit down.
Yeah, okay.
Be comfy.
My concerns are High Country Drive. I guess talking about what the residents talk about is and call Legoland, the current Legoland there, which is an obscenity that I guess was put in there to help golf carts cross. I understand, again, am I right, that it's going to be taken out? The Legos are taken out, the concrete?
Yeah, once council makes a decision. So just to clarify, at 1 o'clock, when we were in committee of the whole,
Yeah.
we had close to a 2-hour discussion on this intersection that
If I can make a suggestion, there's a much easier way to handle the interaction between golf carts and vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Vehicles are the majority. I mean, they're the main, High Country Drive is the main thoroughfare. Anything accessing that or coming onto it is secondary and should be treated as that. And that goes, I think, to your High Country Drive study. I hope you consider that same thing, that it is a secondary and well used, and anything interacting it should be treated as secondary. So the way to handle the golf carts and the pedestrians are a crosswalk and either stop signs or yield signs for the golf carts. I mean, they're the secondary traffic. They're not that busy, and they're secondary traffic, so they should either have stop or yield signs. That simple. The other option is to put a crosswalk and put yield signs for the vehicular traffic. To have to make them stop for the golf carts. I can say this easily because I'm not a golfer. I don't know how many golfers are looking at me with evil eyes. But anyway, I think that it's just simply to cause the golf carts crossing there to either stop or yield to the traffic. And it's that simple. You don't need to do anything else. Those are my comments. Somewhere along I didn't read, was there a roundabout proposed here somewhere?
Yeah.
Where was that going to be proposed?
Right in that intersection. It was a quick discussion that we looked at putting a roundabout in that intersection.
I hope it was a short discussion.
It was, yeah.
Because it's an expensive, not necessarily.
Yeah, and it's difficult to drop roundabouts in existing neighborhoods that are not designed for it, right? So it was going to impact the two
it's really
landowners on each side of that.
And it really doesn't accomplish anything about.
Yeah, that's why it's not on the table today, Malcolm.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's all I had.
Excellent.
My comments on how to handle the interaction between vehicles and golf carts.
Yeah.
In the simplest and most economical manner.
So I will encourage you to, those that are interested in the discussion, we did live stream the committee of the whole meeting. It's on our YouTube channel on highriver.ca. And listen to the conversation because everybody had input on it. We had a great discussion about it, and so adjustments are going to be made to the crossing and to some of the bump outs. And then that's going to come back. When, Kaylee? You begged for December 1st meeting.
We're aiming for the December meeting to come back with the drawing for
With the updated drawing as to what council discussed with public input. So that'll be coming in the December meeting. We'll take that under consideration as well, Malcolm. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyone else? Public comments? I see none. Council correspondence for information. It's in the agenda. Correspondence from the Foothills Country Hospice, Healthcare Foundation, 605 McLeod Trail, High Country Drive, and correspondence Longview Trail. Not surprising to see any of them. Any further questions, comments from council? See none. Meeting adjourned, 3:19.